Hello and welcome, guys. It's Leon Street here from businessownerelevation.com, and we've got Adam in the background setting us up on Instagram. We've also got a secondary camera, office camera. For everybody watching this on our Vortex Academy training, exclusive training, just want to say hello and welcome. Once again, for everybody, I think we're all go now, Adam, yep? Cool. So welcome everybody. It's Leon Street here from businessownerelevation.com. It is another Whiteboard Wednesday. I've literally just cleaned the whiteboard after delivering our exclusive Vortex Mavericks training. Yeah, if you want to find out more about Vortex Mavericks training, you need to be on our Vortex program for coaches and consultants. It's the #1 program for coaches and consultants who are stuck under the 250,000 mark. Yeah, and you want to make the breakthroughs and you want to generate leads and sales consistently without the overwhelm or technology holding you back. Anyway, today's training, I'm sure you're curious. Let's get into it. So it is how to deal with fear and imposter syndrome as a coach or consultant or service-based business owner. So we've got Adam is in the background doing some techie stuff, sharing the stream out onto some of our different profiles online. And if you do have any questions, everybody on Instagram, you're gonna have to bear with me because I've got to wait for Adam over here to come and check. If you do have any comments, I'll just say hi to you guys on Instagram. Everybody else on Facebook, welcome. You know the drill. Anyway, I just wanted to touch on this because I've been having conversations with business owners. I've been having conversations with myself. No, I'm not crazy. It's normal. When you're a business owner, you do question things, you do question yourself, and you do have those conversations with yourself, thinking, figuring out like, what if I should try this, what if I should do that, not sure about this. It's natural. But one of the things that happens off the back of these conversations is sometimes we get into a place of fear and imposter syndrome. We start doubting ourselves and thinking, should I really be here delivering this service? Should I actually really be here talking to you guys so confidently about business and about being a coach, about taking things to the next level? What gives me the right? Yeah, these are some of the things we just naturally say to ourselves. But the thing is, not a lot of people, especially when they don't know any better, know how to deal with it. And one of the things that I've also picked up on, and it's mainly working with coaches, I've probably worked with about 50 coaches in the past year or so. And it's just one of those things that until you face it, until you get your mindset right and you just deal with it, it starts to haunt you, and the hauntings get weirder, they get bigger, louder, and it starts to consume you. And in some places, it puts you in a real crappy place, real shitty place, if I'm honest. I've been there. I've been in a place of depression, not because the doctor said. It's because when I look back, I realized that's what I was in. I was holding myself back. I come out the back of a failed business, and I took it personally. You know, who couldn't? Yeah. Especially when you're in business for the first time. And that was my baby, it was my first business, and things didn't go well. I had to make 3 employees redundant, and believe you and me, the pressures were immense, but they were my own pressures. They were my own pressures that I'd put on myself because of my actions, because of the emotions and feelings, because of the emotions and feelings I didn't let out, I didn't actually question. And then because of the limitations I put on myself, it just kind of compounded. And you know, this imposter syndrome and fear really, like, it just ran riot. And so the reason why I'm touching on this is because, you know, I've faced it just like you guys if you've been through it as well. Maybe you can relate. And if you can relate, just give me a yes in the comments on Facebook, or give me a yes on Instagram right here. And, you know, it's not the easiest thing to deal with, but what I'm going to do is just take you through a few steps that you can use to get past it, because mindset is the key. Mindset is the key to business success. It isn't, you know, can I just use this latest technology and, you know, my wildest dreams are going to unfold? Because a lot of the times there are going to be hacks. There's going to be ways that you know, you kind of drop lucky. Let's call it lucky. Maybe you just made the right decision. It's not luck. You know, and things are going to work out. Maybe technology is in your favor. But then there's going to be times, you know, when you're probably not even expecting it, but there are going to be other times when, you know, things just aren't going particularly great. And because of that, imposter syndrome starts eating away at you. So let's get into this, guys. Now, fear. Yeah, the way you solve fear is pretty straightforward, but it's not easy to do. So how do you solve fear? Here it is. So starve it of time. Yeah. The way that fear manifests, let's take on this analogy for a moment. Have you ever watched a horror movie? For anybody who's chickened out and never watched a horror movie, you've got to ignore this story right now. But for anybody who has watched a horror movie and has got the big kahunas to watch a horror movie, think about it. The horror movie generally starts off with the story and it pulls you in. Yeah, you almost know it's like a winding up of it's almost like a toy like that. You have to wind. No, not a Jack in the Box, just a wind up toy. Anyway, so we're winding up this toy. But we're knowing that we're winding up this toy as we watch this horror movie, it's reeling you into this story. And the thing is, as you're reeled into this story, your emotions dig deeper, you're more consumed, you're involved into this story and your mind starts creating pictures. But what's happening while all of that is going on is you're investing time in this horror movie, and the time is what gets you stuck and what gets you glued in Instagram into the story, into the horror story. And because of that, the fear and the anticipation of something bad happening starts to set in. And that's what it is as a business owner. So with fear and imposter syndrome, it's because you've given it time. So the fastest way for you to fix fear, I'm not talking about the emotions and all the other stuff that you've got to unlock and whatever else, or the mindset, is you've got to starve it of time. So how do you starve it of time? You take action. You may have heard, some people say, do the very thing that you fear, which is great. As long as you're not being ate by a lion, fine. Or if you're not being ate by a shark, anything that's putting your life at risk, then I'd probably just say to you, take a rain check on that. But anyway, do the thing that you fear. Yeah, we're talking about business here, and a lot of the time it's all in our heads. We're either thinking about what somebody will say, how somebody will feel about that, the repercussions of this. We're future placing ourselves and also the outcome before it's actually been realized. And the thing is, because we're all different, we're all human beings, we don't know actually how somebody will respond. We might have a guess, but we don't know. Yeah. And so what I'd say to you guys is, the more that when you feel that feeling or you're going through that experience of fear, imposter syndrome, starve it of time. Take an action, something that goes against it, something that actually, yes, it might be difficult, but do it nonetheless. Now, let me give you some examples. I remember there's been times where I needed to phone a customer and I was going to phone them with bad news. Maybe we'd done something wrong, maybe we were delayed on something with the project, and I had to phone them. Everything inside me was like, just avoid it, don't phone them, wait, da 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 da. And you know what? I did sometimes. But then I just realized that actually the more you show up, the more that you starve fear of time, the more you conquer the fear. And the more you just get to grips with actually it's just an outcome, and the outcome is off the back of whatever energy or effort you put into something. So my first tip for you, how to deal with fear, is starve it of time. Yeah. The next thing that I want to look at is emotions. So when it comes to fear, like, what's present? And what I mean by that, let's just get this down. What I mean by what's present, like, what emotions are you feeling? Because if you're going to starve something of time, there's emotions at play. Yeah, that's where fear comes in. It doesn't come in because it's something logically that you can switch on or off. It comes in because there are emotions present. And so what you've got to look at, is it a passion? Is it a fear? Is it something that has you gripped, yeah, and you can't get past? Maybe there's a feeling of loneliness, scarcity. Maybe there's this lack of abundance in your current, emotional state. Maybe you're consumed by all the negative things. And that, unfortunately, is part of how we're wired. Like the human brain, people say we've got this natural reaction to, when we're faced in danger, fight or flight. And generally, it will be flight for a lot of people, because flight means I just need to get away from this kind of danger or fears as fast as possible. So what you need to do is look at what emotions are present, because the more you understand it, then it makes easy for you to starve that of time. So if it's fear around speaking to somebody, then know it's the fear of that conversation. But is it actually that conversation, or is it that particular person? Yeah, so start to understand what is present in your emotions, because that's how you really tap into. Now, what I want to get into is the third point, imposter syndrome. So when it comes to having, whether it's fear, imposter syndrome as a coach, here's what I want you to look at. So maybe you're coaching people, whether you're a well-being coach, business coach, marketing coach like me, whatever, fitness coach could be. You've got to show up. Now, imposter syndrome, again, it comes in because you give your emotions and feelings time to manifest in fear. And imposter syndrome normally comes about from you thinking, well, maybe I'm not good enough to do this. Maybe I'm not the right person. And the thing is, I want to share a mini example, a mini story. Before successful people were successful, they had to show up. So as an example, maybe people like Oprah Winfrey. Maybe you've got people like, let's pick Jay-Z. Then you've got other people like, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, all the successful people you can think of. At some point, they had to start from square one, or they weren't at the level that they're at now. Yeah, they're not at the pinnacle of their fame and fortune. And so what they had to do was show up. And when you're gripped by imposter syndrome, you just have to go with it. And one of the few things that I want to cover is just some things that maybe you can look at. So one is up your confidence. Yeah. And even if you aren't confident, act. Yeah, I just gave another training and just gave the example of Hollywood actors. Some of them are in the most believable films that you could ever watch, the most excited films, the most gripping films, and all they're doing is acting. It's not even real. So when it comes to showing up, just show up with confidence, even if you have to act and on the inside you're not really like quite there yet, because the experience of showing up with confidence as a coach is the thing that's actually going to start to compound your true confidence in yourself. Just showing up, because what will happen is if you're delivering value, if you're delivering a service and people are getting results or transformation from it, when you see the results come through, just recognize that you are enough. So you must show up, and show up confidently, whether you are acting in the first place, just to be around that energy and see, actually, yes, I'm making a difference. And half the time, imposter syndrome is that it's just taking stock of what you've done up until now. So up your confidence. Here's the other thing. Reflect. So the reflection part is really consider, what have you done up until now? Have you helped somebody? Have you helped a client? Have you helped, somebody who was in real need, and you took them from wherever they were to the place that they needed to get to, the next level? Yeah. And a lot of the time when we're in imposter syndrome, we're thinking about ourselves. We're like, oh, I'm not enough, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. When you get out of really thinking about yourself and you reflect, look at who you've helped, look at how you help, the different things that you do to make a difference just by showing up, not hiding away. This is how you deal with imposter syndrome. But the thing is, the more that you up your confidence, the more that you reflect, the more that you think of who are the people I help, and then as you're reflecting, you're looking at the results of people who, either you've helped. This is going to compound and fall. So if nobody else believes in you, you only have yourself. Because if you're not believing in you, your clients, potential prospects or leads certainly won't, because it will come across, your energy will come across, that vibe will come across. So what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do to starve fear of time, look at what emotions are present and what you need to deal with, showing up, upping your confidence, reflecting on the great things you do, the results you help your clients with, and also the mindset. You have to fortify it. That's why people do affirmations. That's why people write down their goals daily, because what they're doing is programming their mind for success. That's how you deal with fear and imposter syndrome as a coach. Now, my name's Leon Street and I'm a marketing coach. I help people get leads and sales consistently with the V3 Vortex methodology that I teach people. And if I didn't have the confidence, if I wasn't starving fear, I wouldn't be up here right now, guys, sharing my insights with you. If you'd like to find out more, simply go to businessownerelevation.com. You'll find out more. You'll be able to get access to our podcast, our free training. And what I'd love for you, if you're watching this on Facebook, you're probably in our Facebook group. For everybody on Instagram, make sure you jump on over to Facebook and join our group for coaches and consultants. It's called Business Owner Elevation Community. It's very straightforward, very simple. If you're on LinkedIn, if you're on Facebook, if you're on Instagram and we're not connected, make sure you send me a friend request or make sure you add me, and I'll make sure that I follow back and follow up with you. If you've got any comments, or if you've got anything you would like me to cover, please let me know. I just want to check with Adam. Any comments or anything like that? No. Good. Anything on Facebook or anything like that?
Vertical people say hello.
Oh, people saying hello. Anybody in particular?
Mark and
Hey guys. Hey Mark. Hey Afka. Thank you for saying hello. Anyway guys, so this has been another Whiteboard Wednesday training. Now I just want to leave you one last thought. Come on, what would I be if I didn't present an offer to you? Being a marketing coach. Anyway, so if you are in the UK, and if you're not in the UK, you can fly into the UK. On Thursday, the 26th of April in Birmingham City Centre, I'm holding a one-day workshop for 15 coaches and consultants only. Now, this is going to be a phenomenal workshop. Phenomenal. I'm going to be taking you through 9 key areas in your business to help you make the marketing breakthroughs you need, as well as the key understanding with marketing strategy, all the tech you need to be aware of when it comes to systemizing your marketing system to get more clients. And it's all going to be covered on the day. I'd love for you to join. We've already got people booked on. I think we have about 10 more spaces at least for the event, and I'd love for you to be one of those people. If you're watching this right now, please visit leonstreet.com/Vortex Live, and you'll be able to get the full information for the one-day event. So if you think this is for you, you want to take your marketing to the next level, whether you're a coach, consultant, or a service-based business owner, you got to be there, because you're going to get more of this great content, but specific to your business. It's not just going to be me teaching. I'm actually going to deep dive into everybody's business who is present on the day, before the event, and then after the event, so you get lots of value from me. So I hope to see you there. That's it for this week's Whiteboard Wednesday training, and now I believe you will be in a better place to deal with fear and imposter syndrome as a coach, consultant, or business owner. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next week, guys.